Around the world, deals are being made, making people millionaires. But for an unfortunate few, they make the mistake of going into deals, believing too much in the other party involved. The cousin, manager, and friend to Muhammad Ali, Raymond Edson Faulkner, is one of the unfortunate few.
In church, you believe that the person next to you is your brother because you're praying to the same God. But unfortunately, the trickery that exists in the name of religion is appalling. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I had to learn that the hard way, unfortunately.
Raymond Edson Faulkner grew up in Chicago. Being black in Chicago in the 1960s left him vulnerable to racism.
Chicago, where I'm from, was such a racial experience. Chicago is predominantly Irish Catholic, and consequently growing up, I was indoctrinated into Catholicism. I saw that I was a very, very small minority, and it wasn't going to be conducive for a black man to be around such racism.
Raymond watched Muhammad Ali's movie The Greatest, and it showed Ali's experience in the Catholic Church, which was very similar to Raymond's own experience. Having struggles of his own in the church, Raymond hoped to find guidance in Ali.
When you see the movie, you'll recognize that he's brought into a environment like I was and explained how we got here from slavery to now. But it was Ali and his clarity on the idea of a white man being God in the form of Jesus that really shook me in a rational perspective. I could see where Ali was changing the paradigm.
Ali attributed his clarity to Allah, the religion of Islam. The religion of Islam has a black majority, and amazed by the paradigm shift, Raymond became fascinated with the religion.
At that juncture, began seeking a different type of religious expression.
He and Muhammad were growing a deep bond that would soon grow into a business relationship, where Raymond would be the manager of Muhammad Ali's 24-karat gold car.
When I heard Ali talk about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, I would meet the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's grandson, Sultan Muhammad. How Sultan and Muhammad and I would come together ultimately would be through Herbert Muhammad, his father. He had Herbert Muhammad Enterprises, and he was the manager for Muhammad Ali.
His friends saw that his fame started picking up due to his relationship with Muhammad Ali and urged him to go into the business with the Arab world. Being a Muslim convert now, he saw it as a wonderful opportunity.
I was told that if I was going to get into the Arab world, I would have to have a product that was not already in the Arab world. And I knew that there was only one Muhammad Ali. By now, I've walked into Herbert Muhammad's office because they're advertising The Greatest on TV. The Greatest is the movie where Muhammad Ali plays himself. Columbia Pictures made us an offer for the entire Middle East for $1 million. And Mr. Heinemann, who was putting up the money, said, well, no, let's just deal with one country. You choose the country, whatever country you want, Ray. So I said, Pakistan. And Sultan was just totally amazed when I walked into his father's office with documentation to export to the Middle East. Everything looked perfect. They had the population, they had the love for this man.
However, even though the deal seemed perfect, there were severe problems on Raymond's end, which cost him the entire deal and led him to his downfall.
I had never dealt overseas, so I retained a African attorney who really did me an injustice. He oversaw the transaction, all the legal ramifications, and then literally let me give the film to Pakistan on the basis of trust.
Trusting in his attorney and the Pakistani government, he went through with the deal and immediately regretted it, because not long after, Pakistan breached the contract.
After Pakistan breached the contract, he wants now to adjudicate the matter.
However, his international attorney, Mr. Okoli, would never be able to adjudicate the matter and would soon meet a devastating end.
Mr. Okoli, he was found dead about a month or so after that whole episode of representing us.
But the tragedy didn't end there.
Lo and behold, my partner, Mr. Heineman, would get cancer, and Sultan would ultimately commit suicide. I went to Dubai to try and deal with the collection agency there, who told me that basically we have a treaty with Pakistan. So now I've spent money to go to Dubai to learn that there's no such thing as a collection agency for international trade. I would tell anyone who's going to export, don't ever deal with the collection agency, particularly if they claim to be an international collection agency. From the lie of the international attorney to the lie of the international collection agency, I've now spent over 30 years with no pension, nothing to show for it.
Raymond hopes that from this documentary, he will have something to show for the pain he went through by helping others wanting to go into international trade deals. He wants others to not make the same mistake he did, trusting only someone's word during a business deal.
It's my hope to let people understand international trade and what it takes in order to make a transaction work.
The idea of all this came from trusting in a country of the same faith. Regretfully, Raymond was betrayed by his own trust.